Good morning. Welcome to Utah. We're excited to be with you on this real warm, blustery day here in Utah to share with you the information on the new oils we released earlier this spring. We're really excited about it. We've got some great announcements that's going to happen as we get into this about a new product, a remake of a new product that is coming out this month. And so we're pretty excited about that. So, get your notepads out, get your drink handy, because we're going to go through these oils. Now, this is going to be kind of fun because, we could go clear off the deep end with this and get real excited and get into some dangerous area and do some diagnosing and prescribing, but we're not going to do that. What we're going to do is share with you some real solid information that is backed up by research, and you'll actually have the reference on each thing that we're talking about. It's pretty exciting, and so we're going to be going through all these oils and plus a couple new carriers that we're looking at releasing for you. Pretty excited about that. So let's just jump off and get into this as quickly as we can. Now, I know before we do that, there's probably some of you that are in a large group in Texas and Michigan and Utah where you've come together and you just chat out to Ori and let him know how that was working, if the feed is coming through correctly. We want to make sure that everyone's doing good. So can you see me fine? Can you hear me fine? Can you see the PowerPoint? Just kind of chat that out to Ori so that we can double check here. There will be a slight delay between what I say and what you hear, and so there could possibly be some awkward silence here and there as we kind of get through going through this. And if there are questions, do please chat them out to Ori. He will try to answer those back to you, or we'll answer those back to you. If he has any questions on that, then he'll probably shout them up to me and we'll take them from there. Other than that, I think that's much of the housekeeping that's going on. So let's get started. Black pepper. It was interesting when I first started looking at launching black pepper. You have to kind of take into consideration some of the oils that you're looking at launching because of what is the ramifications for danger to the people out there.
Before you jump too far into that, part of the description was explaining aroma oil.
Okay.
And that might help because this is an oil.
Alrighty. We've got a little more housekeeping Ori wanted me to bring up right at the beginning. I was going to do it just a little bit later as we got to the next slide, but we're good to go. So here, let's just do this. Before we jump into black pepper, let me finish that thought. Again, when you're releasing an oil, you have to look at how dangerous it could be for the novice consumer. They get this, they get their eye, they put it on full strength because they're going to burn them. What are some of the ramifications? And so I was kind of hesitant in releasing oregano initially, and also the same thing with black pepper because it is very hot oil. It's very spicy, great benefits, but needs to be handled with care. So now, with that understanding, knowing that there are certain things that you should do, it's one of the reasons why not only the FDA's requirements and us staying compliant with them, but one of the reasons why if you look at our new essential oil line, you'll notice that there is a kind of a division. We have an aroma line and we have a loyal line. And a lot of people have been calling in saying, well, what's the difference and why do you have two? Why is one in a 5 mil? Why is one in a 10 mil? Well, let's kind of take care of that so that you have a really solid understanding of why we move that direction. Number one, because of all the excitement about essential oils in the marketplace with some of the larger MLM companies, there's been a lot of challenges in this industry, and so there's been some new regulations come down that have created us to move this direction to stay compliant. The regulations are if you label your oil for aromatherapy, you can't talk about it as a supplement. And if you do, you're actually not in compliance. And if you label it as a supplement, you can't talk about it as aromatherapy or as a drug. And that's kind of where things wound up in the new rulings. But along with that, we wanted to make sure that we were staying 100% compliant and able to teach you the application of the oils. So let's take a look at the aroma line. The aroma line is in the 10 ml bottle. It is specifically for massage, touch, and aroma. So in your diffuser, body massage, topical application, that kind of aspect. Well, the reason it's in a 10 ml bottle is because if you're going to be diffusing it, you'll be going through a lot more oil. And if we put it in a 5 ml to keep all the bottles consistent, you'd go through it so fast you'd be reordering every couple days. You know, that's not a bad idea though, Ori. We might think about that. So that's why it's in a 10 ml bottle. And now we look at the Loyal line. The Loyal line is labeled as a dietary supplement. This means that you're going to be taking it internally as a supplement, as a food additive, as a flavoring agent. And you'll find that most of those oils that are labeled as a dietary supplement, you'll actually find the oil itself, not our oil, but the oil itself listed on the FDA's GROS list, which means generally regarded as safe to be used as a flavoring agent or a supplement in that aspect of internal application. And so it's in a 5 ml bottle because you're going to be using 1 or 2 drops instead of 5 to 10 to 15 drops in the diffuser. And so that gives you a really good understanding. So if you call in the office and say, hey, which oil, how should I use this oil? And we ask you, is it an aroma or a loyal? Well, it's a loyal. Well, it's a dietary supplement. You know, you can put it in your food, you can put it in your drink, you can put it in a capsule, and it's just that simple. So what it does, guys, is it just takes all of the struggle out of how do I use this oil and puts it on the sideline. It makes it so simple. If it's an aroma, diffuse, topical application, bath, you know, foot bath, however you want to use that, scrub, however you want to use it for topical application. If it's a loyal, simple. Put it in your food, put it in a capsule, put it in water, drink it. It just makes your job so much more easy because now you can say these things, be totally compliant with the FDA, do not get yourself in trouble, do not get us in trouble, perfectly. Now, the next thing that we need to talk about, really simple. A lot of people say, well, gee, there's an orange aroma and there's an orange loyal. Well, what do we do there? Well, it's really quite simple. Are they the same oil? That's the big question that we keep getting asked. So is the aroma oil diluted? Is the aroma oil cut down or a different quality or an inferior quality to the supplement? Or is the supplement a higher quality? Guys, it's a legitimate question, and I'm so glad that you've asked it because here is the simple answer. We take the oil that we've done our due diligence on. I've done the chromatogram, we've done the check, we've done the inspection, made sure that it is the quality that B. Young requires. That comes to the filling table and set on the filling table. Goes into the filling machine. 10 ml bottle comes down, it's filled. 5 ml bottle comes down, it's filled. It goes out, one gets labeled loyal, one gets labeled aroma. Exact same oil, just different labeling, different bottle. No difference in the oil, no change, no dilution, no substitution, nothing. Same oil, one oil, 2 bottles, 2 labels, exact same stuff. So that keeps us super compliant, keeps you super compliant, makes it safe, and away we go. So there we have our black pepper. We're pretty excited about that, and it's been released. And let's just look at some of the history behind that. You know, it's been often referred to as the king of spice. It's really been known since ancient time. During the Queen Elizabeth time, they actually paid their taxes with it. They used it to barter with. The people who worked in the shipyards had their pockets sewn shut, so they couldn't even steal 1 peppercorn. Absolutely amazing. You could buy a sheep with peppercorn, half a cow with peppercorns. Very, very prized for its spice, its flavoring, and some of its real powerful attributes. So where do we get the black pepper? As you saw in the original picture there, it grows very tall like a bean without a pod in a way. These individual little peppers, corns, just kind of all hooked together. And they are picked and then ripened and dried. And then from there they are distilled. Steam distillation is done on the ripened dried fruit. And very, very hot, very spicy aroma, something to really have in your arsenal. And here's why. Here's some of the traditional uses and why we wanted to bring this oil to the table. I mean, just look down this list, guys, and beside that in blue, you'll be able to see the references. And you'll notice that these references aren't just Dr. Mom or Mr. Blog. These here are actually reputable research that's published either in WebMD or some other institution or journal showing that there is some legitimate findings on these items. So if we look at this, relieving aches and pains. We're going to drill into this a little deeper as we go. Aids in digestion, lowers cholesterol, pretty big thing right now to keep people from getting on statin drugs. Encourages circulation, reduces cigarette cravings. Guys, this is a huge one here. And the research is really quite solid on that. And can be used as a food preservative, absolutely. Pretty amazing. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. And can help to detoxify your body. So let's drill in just a little bit and kind of understand some of this research. These are just little snippets of the research, just so you can kind of see. This study on the aches and pains was done in 2014, and it was published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine. And they were looking at neck pain. That was the main thing. And they had two different groups, and they found that when they used black pepper with marjoram, lavender, and peppermint, they found in daily neck pain that they were able to improve it significantly. And so guys, you got to really stop and think about this. Why would peppermint, black pepper, be so complementary to marjoram, lavender, and peppermint? Those are the three oils that we actually use for a migraine headache. So can you imagine using black pepper with that to help with a migraine headache also? Pretty powerful when you look at marjoram for muscle, lavender for relaxation, and peppermint for brain function and nerve function. And then you supercharge that with black pepper. A great, super awesome combination. And there's the research where you can really get excited about that. So guys, I tell you what, that's something to think about. For digestion aid, absolutely amazing. It eases constipation, diarrhea, and gas. This is a great one for the husband who has a lot of backfiring going on. And there's a lot of range of studies here, but the main thing that I want to talk to you guys about is that IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and as well as bladder dysfunction, huge, absolutely amazing, because black pepper helps to stimulate the increase of hydrochloric acid secretion, which increases proper digestion. So guys, when you stop and think about this, this is an oil that you definitely want to be using in conjunction with your U program, your awesome meal replacement with your digestive enzymes. Can you imagine coupling those two together? Absolutely phenomenal what you'll see happen when you start working those two in conjunction. What about cholesterol? Look at this study in 2002. Absolutely amazing. Lipid lowering effect. Now this is what's so cool. The research found that this supplement of black pepper oil elevated the concentration of your happy cholesterol, your good cholesterol, your HDL, but yet it lowered and reduced the concentration of your LDL, and also helped to reduce high triglycerides by improving your overall score of your cholesterol levels. Guys, this is going to be awesome for all those out there that are struggling with cholesterol and the decision of going on a statin drug or not. If you listen to Dr. Whiting, they're absolutely deadly. They're dangerous. And so here is an awesome opportunity and the research to go with it to help you understand that this is something that has caught the eye of the medical and scientific community, and they have done research on it. Perfectly awesome. The next thing we want to look at is encourages circulation. Now this is really good for a lot of things, but we need to really look at this for what it really is. Are we going to try to increase circulation for the lymphatic system? We need to look more at the bioflow and mucus within the body, because this is a loyal oil. It is a dietary supplement. It will be taken internally. It actually literally has a very warming action if taken internally. And it mixes well with cinnamon and turmeric essential oil to encourage circulation activity. Now let's just talk just briefly about the turmeric and black pepper connection. This is something that is absolutely amazing, and there's tons of research on this. They found that coupling those two together, turmeric with black pepper, they found that it increased the activity of turmeric by 2,500%. That's incredible. And so when you look at the action of turmeric for dementia and Alzheimer's and those kind of challenges, and then coupling black pepper with it, incredible. And then to increase the circulation activity, powerful, powerful reason to have black pepper in your arsenal. Let's take a look at the reduction of cigarette cravings here, guys. This is so amazing because when people start trying to kick that bad habit, they have a real challenge because they go through some real strong symptoms of anxiety of being deprived from that habit, that nicotine. This study goes clear back to 1994, and it was published in the Drug and Alcohol Dependency, and they found that it suppresses the symptoms of withdrawal and the cravings for cigarette. Now, that's important, super, super important. But along with that is also among the best essential oils for anxiety and nervous conditions that associate with quitting smoking. And so guys, if you have a loved one that you want to help them out here, this is a great gift that I would definitely get to them if they're in the mindset of getting this expensive habit out of the way. Alrighty, now let's take a look at food preservation. This is something you don't think much about. This research is just a couple years old. It determined that the antimicrobial activity against food spoilage when adding black pepper oil to chicken soup, they found that it actually stopped the growth of those food-borne spoilage microbes in chicken noodle soup. It put them out. So they cooked the chicken noodle soup, set it aside, tested after a few days, you find the microbes starting to go to spoilage. By using the black pepper, totally changed the duration of spoilage time. So this is something you might want to consider, you know, some of you guys that are home canners. A little bit of black pepper oil put in there to help with the botulism. Very, very important. Or even put a little bit in as you're cooking to make sure that if the temperature didn't get to where it needed to be, you're taking care of those challenges. So kind of a cool research. I found this one quite interesting to read. And finally here, with this, detoxifying your body. Guys, I tell you what, this is amazing to add to any detoxification program. Dr. Axe talks about this a lot because it helps to reduce swelling and inflammation in the body. It can help lower blood pressure naturally. And in a 2013 study in the cell biochemistry and biophysics, they suggest that this compound, piperine, reduces the symptoms of the human metabolic syndrome by helping the body to remove toxins and reduce inflammation. So what is metabolic syndrome? The syndrome X, this is what takes you into what they've determined now as adult onset diabetes. Large around the middle, blood sugar challenges. That's where the toxins build up, and this helps to take that inflammation down, remove those toxins out, and get you going where you need to be. So with that being said, now let's look at this neat little sheet here. This is a lot of work. It took a lot of effort and a lot of time to put this together. Ori headed up this here project and was very diligent in getting it done. There were times that at the beginning, he said, I can knock this out, bam, bam, bam. And then when you look at 110 oils, when you got down to the last few, the last 20 or 30, it was like one a day because it is so difficult to get it together and make sure that it's compliant. But guys, these little sheets, and you can go to beyoungth.com. Oh, the link is there for you. Awesome, good job, Ori. Go to Getting Started Resources, and you will find these all in there print them off. You can see at the bottom there, it has a little thing that says try me. Take your little X-Acto knife and cut at the dots. We have the little 2.5 mil bottles. You can add it in there, pop that through, hand this card out, and away you go. It gives you all of the things that we just talked about right there. We didn't talk about the suppression of appetite, but that is one of the things that it does also help you with. But look, we got for you the primary uses. How to use it for a food additive, how to use it as a digestive aid. There's little recipes on there and how to use it for circulation. This is something that is so powerful. Last night we talked about the party plan opportunity. Guys, you could have 110 different parties, never have the same party once within a 6-month period if you had one every day. But you think about this, all you could do is send out an invitation to come and learn about black pepper, do these recipes with them, talk about the recipes. Powerful, powerful information. You got the cards hand out. You could do such an amazing job. So these cards are absolutely phenomenal. You'll see this on every oil that we're talking about today, every single time. So that's black pepper, guys. I'll give you the chance to go over it and look at it. Any questions, chat them to Ori, and we'll go from there. We'll move to the next oil. All right, Boost blend. This is a blended essential oil. Some of you might recognize this as we get into the story a little bit, what Boost is, but this is a phenomenal oil that we're pretty excited about. It's a blend of several oils. And so let's look at what we've got in there. Well, before we do that, let's go. I forgot how I organized the slides. Let's look at the history behind Boost. Now, Boost didn't just fall out of the sky and hit me on the head. It kind of came from a news report in 2008. As I was sitting at the computer working and Cammie had the news going on in the background, came on the 10 o'clock news, rare bacteria found in Hanford, Washington. Scientists cannot discover what this bacteria is. If released, could wipe out the whole human population. It was kind of it was one of those things where your head snaps around real quick to the TV. So I started doing research and found that in this area, since the Second World War, this was the biochemical, radioactive, nuclear waste dump reserve in Hanford, Washington, where they had buried 177 1-million-gallon tanks of radioactive isotope in the ground. And they've been testing and they found radioactive isotope in the Columbia River at the oceans. They just started testing, going back upstream. And as they went further upstream, they finally came to Hanford and it stopped. And so it really perked my interest. And so with that being understood, I kept following it. And nothing really came of it. And finally a little blurb came out 30 days, well actually 3 months later, that said bacteria, normal bacteria found in the soil. And I thought, wow, what's going on? So that led me to what we're going to talk about right now. Mainstream medicine believes that virtually all illnesses are caused by just a couple things. Germs, genetic weaknesses that are hereditary, deformities, or trauma and injury. And their solution to take care of them are two: drugs or surgery. But in reality, when we stop and look at it, there are basically 3 causes to disease. Cellular malfunction caused by toxicity and cellular malnutrition. Those are the things that we have to look at. And both of these can be avoided and be overcome naturally. Because when you stop and think about that, when the cell malfunctions and starts to replicate and does not go through apoptosis, that's what we have in the form of cancers and stuff, and cellular toxicity and lack of nutrition at the cellular level. So this research started to put me into a whole different train of thought. These bacteria can morph and change into what is called an L form. There's a great book out there that was written by Dr. Lyda Matman, and it's called Stealth Pathogens, Cell Wall Deficient Form, Stealth Pathogens. And in her book, this is a list of what she found in her research. She was voted in 1995 for a Nobel Prize for her work. And this is what she found, is that Crohn's and ulcerative colitis is L-form Pseudomonas and Myelopathy. Those two bacteria morph from normal classical bacteria to an L form will spawn that disease. IBS is Pseudomonas, same one as the ulcerative colitis. Multiple sclerosis, spirochete is the main one there. Gallbladder disease, Candida, cell wall deficient form, Candida. Lou Gehrig's and ALS, Borrelia burgdorferi, and spirochete. So you can kind of just literally see how she was able to show a classical bacteria morphs into a subclass or a nanobacteria like an L form. You wind up having these different diseases spawn from that. She also found in this book, this great book to read, that a child going on antibiotics, because she proved that antibiotics create this breakdown of the classical bacteria into the L form, but she proved that a child going on antibiotics and staying consistently on antibiotics from birth to 8 years, 100% will have rheumatoid arthritis, because it'll cause the bacteria to morph, it'll cause that inflammatory response and attack of the immune system. So it's really something to think about. And as I went through this and really started to understand that there was a real challenge, I needed to then look at what we could do naturally with essential oils to try to put together a blend that would help us to really go after the challenge. And so if you look here real quick, guys, Boost is what I put together as the answer to this L-form challenge. We originally understood and knew this here blend as L-form. So we have L-form in the 10 ml size, and then we have L-form in the supplement size. So there's your aroma and your loyal. But look at the oils that you have in here. Absolutely phenomenal. You've got your frankincense, your holy basil, your rosewood, both frankincense, both the sacred and the Cartier. Absolutely powerful for stimulating the body, boosting the immune system, attacking the L form directly, a food additive, a dietary supplement. And so you can see on this card that we have the immune system support, how to use that and when to use it and how much to use. For stimulating, you apply the oil under the tongue with a carrier if you like. Cell wall deficient form gives you the recipe. Absolutely phenomenal oil. Boost is the supplement oil to L form. Once again, the blended oil set on the shelf, bottles come down, 10 ml go this way, 5 ml go that way, exact same oil. Boost, you will enjoy it. All right, our next new oil is carrot seed. Carrot seed is a phenomenal oil. I was first introduced to carrot seed, back in 1995 is when I was first introduced to carrot seed. It is another oil that is very warm. It comes from the seeds. The seeds are collected and then are steam distilled, and you get an oil that is kind of warm. Carrot seed is also in your Defend pack for your liver cleanse, and that gives it that real warm feeling. When you take it, you feel just a little warm feeling as it goes down the esophagus, because it's a very warm oil, something that you can really enjoy. And one of the reasons why I got so excited about it is because of the history and the research that you find with carrot seed oil. It's thought to originate in Afghanistan, the Western world, and literally it goes clear back. Carrot seed, for medicinal purposes, go clear back to 25 BC. That's when I found the first references. Absolutely amazing. It was, steam distillation wasn't taking place during that time period. And so, it probably is done through more of a tincture kind of a situation. But or just pressing the seeds and getting more of a fixed oil along with the essential oil. But it's got a legacy. Diceride prescribed it. Also, the father of medicine, Hippocrates, he prescribed it as use back in the day. So it's been around for a long time. Well, let's look at the why. Traditional uses include detoxifier, stimulates secretion, stimulates appetite, kills intestinal worms, helps treat ulcers, and relieves flatulence. And that's a pretty nice list there. So let's look at the detoxifying aspect here. Care seed helps to cleanse the internal organs of the body, especially digestive area and the circulatory area. Here's what's so cool about it. In a research in Russia, they found that it helped the liver to regenerate the Kupffer cells inside the liver, which is so important. It helps to rid the body of excess urea and uric acid, and here's the kicker, guys. They found that it helps to eliminate pesticides, insecticides, and other chemicals that you get through your food source and water. And if you've listened to Ori's presentation on how many pounds of pesticides are used every year, it's in the billions, millions, it's a lot that is used every year, and that winds up in our water supply and then winds up in us. Here is an excellent oil to help with that. Really helps also with getting those things out of the body, and helps with getting build up water out of the body also. Next thing, as far as stimulating the secretions, it helps to stimulate circulatory system, especially when the body is starting to go into a shutdown because of buildup of uric acid and that. It promotes the secretion of bile and gastric juices and hormones, and encourages peristalsis to move things through the digestive system. So you have a normal functioning bowel system. It also helps with the nerves, thereby can help you to be more active in functioning as far as stimulating the function of the brain and the nerves to send those messages to the stomach for peristalsis and turning on of the hormones, and encourages that action. Pretty powerful in the stimulation of the body. Pretty amazing. Our next thing here is quite simple, to stimulate appetite. And we do have some people out there that just really have a hard time eating. You know, most of us, man, we need the opposite. Let's stop from eating. Some people are addicted to eating. But this is one that helps for those that just really are having some challenges with that aspect of just no appetite. And so you definitely want to take a look at that. Now, this action helps to tone the stomach and the liver and the entire digestive system, while regulating the secretion of digestive juices and getting the digestive system to work appropriately and naturally. That's why it's so important to realize with having this oil in the Defend pack, boom, right before you do your meal replacement with your digestive enzymes, absolutely amazing. So as you think about how this is stimulating appetite, so you're eating more correctly and helping with digestion, so you're getting the nutrients out of the food that you're eating. In addition, it helps to tone the skin and prevent skin from becoming loose, saggy, and inhibits the signs of aging. Part of that has to do with some of its action in triggering the absorption of beta-carotenes. And so the beta-carotenoids really make a huge action on the skin. So you'll really enjoy that.
Oh, I got a question.
Okay, question.
Question is from Preparedness Pro. Does it increase appetite when you don't want it to, like if you're trying to diet?
If you take a lot of it, according to the research, it will. You have to take more than what you'll find in the Defend pack to get it to encourage the appetite. So you're fine with what's within the Defend daily shot. But if you wanted to increase appetite, you'd then want to put it 3 to 5 drops in a capsule and go from there. Good question. Alrighty. Next one, kills intestinal worms. This was really cool. This is something you could add to your list to go with Tickaboo because of what they found. It is very useful for children who generally are prone to having intestinal worms. In fact, intestinal worms are the major annoyance issue of young children. It just makes them feel uneasy, and their malnutrition, and just a real handful of health conditions. Something that'd really be good to take to a third world country too. But this is very effective in taking care of those nasty little critters inside. This is one that I got pretty excited about because years ago with another company I released an oil called mastic oil. Very hard to get, but good research on the use for peptid ulcers that would come from eating sushi and stuff, where they get those gastrical, intestinal, stomach ulcers that turn into cancer. Well, carrot seed oil has been absolutely amazing to treat ulcers, sores, rashes, gangrene, carbuncles, psoriasis, and other similar type conditions. This is something that you see in a lot of different areas, a lot of different places in research. It is also great for cough, cold, flu, and measles and mumps. This is a good one for measles and mumps season. Something to really take a look at. Okay, question?
Question is, since it helps with uric acid buildup, would it be useful for gout relief?
This would be a great one to use in combination with your cypress and bay laurel for gout. You'd use your cypress bay, that's what I would do. I would put cypress and bay laurel on the location and use this as a supplement. Very good action because of what the indications are. Good question. Okay. All right, if you're feeling the accumulation of gas in your stomach and the intestines, you feel uneasy, you might want to reach for carrot seed because this really helps to expel all that gas that form in the intestines and can provide you pretty quick relief. And so again, a couple drops in a capsule in the stomach and get that gas going. There'll be some sound effects that will go along with this, so just be aware of that. All right, here's something I found really cool, guys. This is from Dr. Kurt Schnabelt. He wrote in his book, Healing Intelligence of Essential Oil. This is on page 133. A drop in a glass of water can be taken sporadically or as part of a program of liver regeneration. Now that is pretty amazing. And the reason that guys, I tell you, we've just seen a lot of people that have used carrot seed oil over the years that have been able to go off from the liver transplant list. So just direct quote right from page 133. Take it for what Dr. Schnabelt has said. Guys, it's amazing. All right, take a look here at your informational card. Again, you have a recipe there or some suggestions for detoxifier, relieving flatulence, 1 drop orally, 10 to 15 minutes before meal. It works, guys. It works. Helps to treat ulcers, another recipe. But see how valuable these cards are? Could you imagine how much fun you could have with this little, just the carrot seed presentation right here, and going right in and having a party? Yeah, just think of the fun. All you gals would be sitting around having a party talking about how noisy your husbands are. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Alrighty, cilantro. This is a real fun one here, guys, because there's a lot of confusion between cilantro and coriander. It's the exact same plant, and a lot of people get it really confused. And so we're going to demystify coriander and cilantro today and give you the skinny on that, okay? So let's look at the history of cilantro. It's made quite a name for itself. It's a member of the parsley family. And if you look at the leaves, absolutely looks just like parsley. And it has both plant and fruit that produce oil. And that's where people get confused. I mean, when you look at Chinese soup, coriander. Indian food, coriander. Mexican salsa, coriander. But when speaking, I said coriander, cilantro. When speaking of coriander, people are referring to the seeds, not the plant. That's the difference. Coriander oil comes from the seeds of the exact same plant that produces the foliage that produces cilantro. So the leaves are commonly called cilantro, and a Spanish word for coriander. So there you have it. So when you're saying coriander, it's the English version of the Spanish name cilantro, which means coriander. So that's the difference between the two. So just to help you not get confused, coriander is in the aroma line, cilantro is in the loyal line. So let's look at why. Look at the traditional uses in India, as where you'll find a lot of the research, because they've been using it for so long. Rids the body of heavy metals. I hope that perks your ears. Protects against oxidative stress, lowers anxiety and improves sleep, lowers blood sugar levels, settles digestive upset, protects against food poisoning. Okay? Pretty powerful. So let's drill in. Rid your body of heavy metals. Cilantro has scientifically shown to bind to toxic metals together, loosening them from the tissue and facilitating the elimination from the body, while other studies found that cilantro actually accelerates the removal of heavy metals from the body. In this study that's cited below here, it was used to help remove stubborn heavy metal deposits that continue to plague patients even after the infected symptoms had faded. So you think about this, it's going to bind to the heavy metal, dislodge it from the tissue, and move it out of the body. Guys, do you realize how powerful that is? That's what this research says. Not Dana, the research. Pretty impressive. I think my battery's gone dead. Nope, there it is. All right. Lowers anxiety and improves sleep. Cilantro benefits the sleep cycle naturally, calms the nerves, and gives you a quality sleep. It has a natural sedative effect. And this study here in the journal, Indian Journal of Pharmacology, found high levels of cilantro extract produce the same level of anti-anxiety as the popular prescription drug Valium and diazepam. Now guys, in the research, it will give you the high level amount. I didn't want to give that to you here. You go to the research and you look that up, and there's your high level. So you're looking at more than one drop, but when you get to that level that's in the research, it's as effective as Valium or diazepam with 0 side effects. That's impressive. Okay, our next item here, as you get your sleeping going and your anxiety down, we need to look at what it'll do for you as far as your stress relief and to protect you against food poisoning. The body also needs to be protected sometime from, natural bacteria that have started to do their job in food, to break that food down and return it back to the soil. And so they found that a lot of waterborne diseases, including food poisoning, dysentery, salmonella, cholera, and listeria. Research published in the International Journal of Food Microbiology study dill, coriander, eucalyptus, and found that cilantro was particularly effective in fighting listeria. Listeria is a really bad bacteria. And with a person with compromised immune system, listeria inside, it's pretty rough. The mortality rate is really high on that. So this is a really good one to help protect you from food poisoning. Next slide. My clicker's gone dead. There it goes. You have to change the battery. Settles the digestive upset. Cilantro has been used throughout the world for thousands of years to work with the digestive system. Just like we use coriander and dill and fennel for the digestive system, cilantro, excellent to help produce digestive enzymes, aiding in the breaking down of food. That's why it's used in many cuisines. It's just absolutely phenomenal. to help break that down. Yeah, it's one of those hearing aid batteries. And to get things going in the digestive upset. So here's a good one that, guys, you can use with the kids. Cilantro is an excellent flavor. Next slide. All right, so looking at our chart here, guys, pretty exciting. Okay. What size is that, real quick? I might have one of them. No. Question?
Question on cilantro versus coriander for heavy metals.
For heavy metals. All right, the question was on cilantro versus coriander for heavy metals. Guys, the research was on, well, there's research on coriander also. Both of them work on heavy metals. If you really want to supercharge stuff, you didn't hear this from me, but because the coriander is in the aroma line, cannot be used internally according to the labeling. Those two in combination, phenomenal. Just so you're aware, but solid research with coriander oil in that aspect. So what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to kind of take a little break while Ori gets that thing, because I think this is a good place now for us to stop. This is the last slide for cilantro, and so we're going to take a little break right here, and we're going to talk about Musashi Plus. What that means to you. So, well, we're waiting for Roy to come back with the clicker to run the controls over there. Let me just kind of go back and give you that are new on the call kind of the background behind Musashi and how we migrated to Musashi Plus. Back in 2009, it was probably about April of 2009, I started having a lot of the distributors come to me and say, Dana, boy, we really need a super antioxidant drink. We were buying this drink from company next door, and we'd like to just buy from you because we know that you'll put together a super good quality product. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. Just go buy it up there. I'm an essential oil man. I don't want to do that. And I continued to get requests. And the request moved from request to demands. And so finally I said, okay, I'll tell you what, I'll just take a look at it. I'll look at it and see what I can do. And so I thought that, you know, people, okay, great. And so I did. I started looking into it. And as I started looking into it, I started realizing that, wow, it's really important that we have a super antioxidant drink. And so I started putting together a list, and from that list and from the research I put together what we had as Musashi. Absolutely a phenomenal drink as far as antioxidant control. It was one of the highest that hit the marketplace. Flavor was dynamic. It was in the beginning. It was horrid in the beginning. We changed the order in which we put the stuff together and came out with an amazing drink, and we've loved the drink. Not going to poo-poo it down. I still have some that I'm drinking today. Sorry guys, I took the last few off the shelf. But I'll tell you what, here's what's amazing about it. We never could put Musashi on sale. Never could, because our cost to manufacture it was so astronomical that if we reduced it down in a Green Monday or White Monday sale or any kind of a sale, we paid you to buy it. You know, I mean, literally, it was that expensive for us to produce. Great product. And so over the years, the essential oil line helped carry and funded the Musashi for you to have, because we were not making really any money at all on Musashi. And so we had to take a serious look at it at the beginning of this year and look at our suppliers, look at where we're getting our raw materials, look at new research, see if there's new discoveries, and see if we could reformulate, because we're always looking at all of our blends and reformulating and are seeing if we need to reformulate, because if you need to reformulate, you should do that to keep current, because there's new discoveries, new things. And so we did that. We started looking at it. And this here conversation started in January. And again, Ori took charge of this and started putting together a bunch of stuff. He'd bring it to me, and yeah, it's awesome. What about this? And he'd add this and go look for more things and put that in. And so it was kind of cool, because I suggested the lipoic acid, and then he found that there are two different kinds of lipoic acid, and there's one that you find readily everywhere, but then he found one that is natural, it's actually absorbable and doesn't get burned up in the digestive system, called R-lipoic acid. He added that to it. So a lot of awesome research that Ori put together in this blend. Well, we have Musashi Plus now. And when I say Musashi Plus, it's kind of amazing, because if you remember before, Musashi, when it first came out, we says, well, hey, this is going to have your vitamins and minerals, and because it has the marine phytoplankton and all these here berries and things like that, it's going to be your vitamins, minerals, and your super antioxidant drink. And as we got the testing back, the antioxidant, off the charts. But the vitamin minerals were just so low that we really couldn't feel comfortable in coming out and saying, boo! This is your vitamin, so we had to bring out a vitamin and mineral supplement. So if you remember, we had Musashi and we had NutriSmart. So your $70 for Musashi and $70 or $75 for NutriSmart, combine those together, $140. There was your antioxidant vitamin and mineral supplement. And so in our concept of thinking this through, we said, hey, what if we could take and just make a drink? That was what we envisioned back in 2009 as a super antioxidant, vitamin mineral supplement drink that would really supply your body all the tools that the body needs to function and go. And so that was the hypothesis that we wrote, that was the task at hand, and we went to work. And the list of ingredients just kept growing. And it was funny because it was fun for me to sit back and watch Ori. Because as I was doing my initial research on Musashi, that list just grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew until, the basket was overflowing. And Ori had the same, as he had researched on something, then he'd get a tip for something else and research on that, and that'd lead him to... The list of ingredients were huge. And we had to go through and kind of cut some of those out. And the main reason for that is some of them don't play well together. Some of them don't play well with your palate. Brought this one ingredient. We wanted to keep with the olive leaf extract because of some of the powerful attributes of the olive leaf extract. We got that in and took a taste of that and started running around spitting and gagging and dragging our tongue on the floor. Absolutely horrid. And it was not water soluble. It didn't play well with the rest of the ingredients, as it was gritty, it didn't mix well. So we had to choose the battle. We had to look at what our initial goal was. We had to look at what our targeted benefits were and go for that. And we had to stay laser focused, because when you start creating a synergy like this, it can get out of hand, and you can lose your focus that quick and wind up going down a path, and it just screws everything up. And I'll have to admit, guys, when we first put this together, it was like deja vu for me. Put it together and we tasted it, and we were gagging and spitting and having a very hard time. And Ori says, man, I don't know if we can do this. It was quite discouraging. And I remember how I felt when I had that same problem with the original Musashi. But I'll tell you what, we've got it put together, and it's amazing. Now, some of you really enjoy the flavor of the old Musashi. I think you will love the flavor of this. It's nothing like the old Musashi. At first we thought, well, we'll try to keep it as close as we can. Well, we couldn't. Because of the different changing of ingredients. We could get it kind of a floral grape flavor. But then we got thinking, and we sent some samples out, and we had people come back and say, it's kind of like, but I like the old flavor better. So one day we just came to the office and said, you know what? Why are we trying to make it the same flavor? If we're going to change the formula, let's change the flavor profile. So we did. So this is literally a tropical orange cream flavor, which is absolutely phenomenal. But guys, what you have here in front of you now that Ori has put up, absolutely amazing. Musashi Plus has it more than ever. So if you look at Musashi Plus, and then we've compared that with some of the leading competitors out there. We have Janussi, which is the old Monavi. We have Prodigy with the Frequency, and what was the other one? Ninja Red, yeah, Ninja Red. And so if you look down the list, you can see really quick there as you come right down this list, you can see clear down into here, nothing compares. But if you look over at Prodigy here, you can see there's a different color. So they do have that in there. But if you look down at the bottom right here, you can see really quick what the difference is. These are all derived naturally. These are derived synthetically. So check your key down here, very important to see. Very important to see. So you look at the profile, bam, all the way down. Then you get over to your fruits, all the way down, fruits and berries. Now guys, here's what's amazing. Not only do we're looking at the super antioxidant, but we're looking at the vitamins and minerals. Now this is something we have to really talk about here very powerfully with you. This is a different delivery system. The delivery system is done through nanotechnology, a liposomal process. So, for example, what they do is you take a vitamin C, for example. It's a large molecule. It's very hard to get into the cell at the end delivery site. And so what they do is they take and they break that into microparticles, and now it's very vulnerable. And so then they coat that in a 2-layered coating of protein, of vegetable protein, fat. And this protein fat coating gets it through the digestive acids to the small intestine. Because it's in a fat, a lipid, it's going to zip right through, naturally transport right into through the villi into the bloodstream, and then through the cell membrane into the cell to the destination site. And so you're going to get great absorption. While they found this process, because chemotherapy is such a large molecule, they couldn't get chemotherapy inside of the body like they wanted to, and so that's where this science developed over 40 years ago. It's now just merging into the supplement area, natural supplement area. But they found this with the resveratrol. Resveratrol, grape skin extract, great for anti-aging, good antioxidant, but they're only getting less than 1% absorption. And when they did it in this process, they got up to 98% absorption. And so that's pretty impressive. So our vitamins and minerals are done with this process to give you the greatest absorption, the most efficacy that you can find. Along with that, we've added another thing that has 9 different studies on it, which is absolutely phenomenal, to help absorb those items into the body. And it's an absolutely amazing fat absorption compound to get those in. So not only do you have the small molecule, now we have clinical study evidence of a product that we put in to help you to absorb that even more readily. The other thing that you have here is that we wanted to have a good amino acid profile here as far as your omega-3, 6, 9. And this fatty acids are so important. These essential fatty acids, amino acids, your 3, 6, and 9, your omegas. Fatty acids. Omega fatty acids. Make sure that we're correct here. These amazing compounds, you find them mainly in fish, but they're very unstable. And so we had to go to work again and found these in 2 different areas, in a fruit and in a oil that comes from a plant that is very similar to a peanut in a way, but it does not carry the allergies that nuts and peanuts carry. Sasha omega and your sea buckthorn berry fruit. Those are the 2 compounds that give you the profile for your omega-3, 6, 9, and a new one that's just emerging onto the scene now, omega-7, which is absolutely amazing for inflammatory response and brain function. So once again, guys, you've got an amazing profile of your omega-3, 6, 7, and 9. Vitamins, minerals with the nanotechnology, all of your fruits and berries going on there for your antioxidant control. It gives you a drink that's absolutely spectacular. It makes a huge difference. And so guys, just wanted to give you that opportunity to kind of see that that's coming out this month. This is going to be the bottle you see here. 1 ounce serving. The cap is 1 ounce. So you just take the cap off, pour it full, put it in a glass, add another cup of water because this is a concentrate. And so now you got a 2 ounce serving drink. And it's pretty amazing. So you can take it straight or you can dilute it. We suggest you dilute it because it really brings the flavor profile out because when it's concentrated, it's kind of a strong flavor profile. So when you dilute it with that water, your water, and you can use your RO water or your alkaline water, it's going to give you the correct mixture of the flavor profile, and it's so amazing. So I really hope that kind of gets you excited for what's coming the latter part of this month. Musashi Plus. Okay, did we get the battery back in? Couldn't get a battery. All right, so we'll just... Maybe it's just need to be torn apart. All right, garlic. Now, guys, when we fill this oil here at the office, at our fulfillment center, you know it. Everyone wears a little mask. This is a very strong oil. This oil, when opened, will be one that you'll want to put in a baggie and zip tie it closed because it'll permeate your entire house. It is a very strong aromatic plant. And so just know that this oil is very stinky, okay, but very powerful. Garlic is derived in Europe and Asia. The plant grows to a height of 1, 2, 3 feet tall. Has your little garlic pieces. My mind just went blank. But anyway, it was used in the Middle Ages for leprosy. The ancient Americans applied garlic to draw out poison from insect bites and snake bites. During World War I and II, the European doctors dressed wounds containing a garlic to prevent gangrene. Very strong antibacterial action to this, so very powerful. And each little clove is, that was the word I was looking for, is very powerful in that aspect. Okay, so let's look at it's done through steam distillation. You crush the garlic, and then the garlic then has gone through the steam distillation process. It's a great oil to boost the immune system, prevent viruses and colds. And it's gained a lot of attention in the research area as far as one to be used with MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. There's the research on that. Okay, so let's look at the why. Traditional uses, look at this. A lot of research on immune stimulation. Listed 2 of them there for you. Cardiovascular support, food additive, and stimulating. So drilling in, immune stimulant. Now, several mechanisms are reviewed in the context of how this works through the detoxification phase 1 and 2 enzyme with your ROS or your reactive oxygen species to reduce DNA damage. Now, that's pretty impressive. And this research right below here that you see, it talks tons about this right here. So, guys, you need to pull that up, do your due diligence, do your reading. Garlic has been useful in preventing the suppression of the immune system associated with the increased risk of malignancy, of stimulating also the proliferation of leukocytes and macrophage phagocytes throughout the entire body, and enhances NK cells, your neutral killer cells. So this is a really excellent oil to be using. If you use a lot of it, it will come out your pores. You will definitely be keeping the vampires away. So taking a look at this one here, it increases the number of leukocytes. This is what the research literally came out with, guys. It shows that it increases those in the body. These are the ones that attack abnormal cells. It also serves as a foreign body and fights infections, so it has the ability to go in and attack foreign bodies and take them out. It increases the natural killer cell activity. These killer cells are the ones that are in your leukocytes, your white blood cells. These here are the ones that are your immune defense systems that actually go in and help with these microorganisms that are attacking the body, possible cancerous type cells. It increases antibodies and the titer antibodies. That's very important. These are the ones that go after the viruses. So you can see garlic, solid research, very powerful. Okay. Cardiovascular support. Here's a great one here. Garlic oil compounds actually are free radical scavengers. They protect the membranes from damage and maintain cell integrity. They help to provide cardiovascular protection, lowering cholesterol, lowering blood pressure, anti-platelet activity, and so you're working there to help the platelets from aggregating too much, so you won't have your deep vein thrombosis challenges going on. And it guards against atherosclerosis. Pretty amazing. Again, the research right there goes into much more detail and goes into application and how much to use. Once again, caution, you will know how much is too much because no one will be able to give you a hug or a kiss. Okay. Food additive, again, of course, absolutely amazing. We have a recipe in the Resource Center to make a garlic dill dip. When you're doing this, just a little word of caution. Toothpick in the orifice reducer and then wade it through your entire mix. Because if you add a drop, just know that you'll be making 5 gallons. It's way too much. This is a powerful oil. One little drop goes a long, long ways. Okay, guards against a wide range of gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. Just look at this list, guys, and you can go right to the research here. Look at this: Salmonella, Staphylococcus, Klebsiella, pertussis, Bacillus. Look at these. H. pylori, there's your gastric ulcer. So very, very powerful, very, very powerful. You kind of see why we wanted to bring it on. All right, so once again, you have your card. Gives you your list of items here, your actions, your primary uses, food additive, immune stimulant, toothache. Another good thing we didn't even talk about, body aches, okay? Pretty powerful, guys, pretty powerful. So our next oil is ginger. A lot of you have been asking a lot of years for ginger oil. We had it in the Digest blend forever, but we wanted to bring it out as a single, and so ginger is a very, very powerful oil. Here's the history behind that. It's thousands of years old. Been used in the ancient Chinese, Indian, and Greek civilizations forever. It's very much a tradition, and when you stop and look at it, it's sweet. And by the 13th, 14th century, ginger, along with black pepper, became common traded spices. And it was said that a pound of ginger could trade for an entire sheep. A pound of ginger. Absolutely amazing when you stop and look at that. Very good aromatic aspects comes from the ginger rhizome or root. And that's where we get the oil, as it's maciated and steam distilled. Looking at some more of the aspects to ginger, it's also in the family, including turmeric and cadmium. And it's really beneficial for the body as an antiseptic, laxative, and a stimulant. There's literally 115 different chemical compounds found in the ginger root that have therapeutic benefits. That was really impressive as I was looking at that. And ginger essential oil is made up of the top 90% sesquiterpene. So when you stop and look at that, 90% of this oil is in the sesquiterpene family. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Okay? Here's the why. Traditionally used for, treats upset stomach and supports digestion, indigestion, reduces inflammation, strengthens the heart health, improves liver function, and a flavoring agent, excellent flavoring agent. Next slide. There we go. Wow, that thing is getting bad. Treats upset stomach and digestion. This scientific review, published in Evidence-Based Complementary and Alternative Medicine, they evaluated ginger for its effectiveness with digestion and upset stomach and reducing nausea and motion sickness. And actually, this research is very targeted towards reducing nausea after medication or surgery. Very, very powerful for doing that. So if it can take care of nausea after medication or surgery, it's going to help in a lot of these other easy things. Next slide. That stupid thing. Indigestion. And here's one in 2015. This here was published, and it was used on rats. Used ethanol to cause gastric ulcers in the rats. And they used the ginger to help treat that, and it inhibited the ulcer formation by 85%. So once again, it's kind of powerful to help with that action in the body where it can cause indigestion and ulcerization in the stomach. Powerful research, guys, 2015. Reduces inflammation. In 2013 study in the Indian Journal of Psychology and Pharmacology includes ginger essential oil as a super powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory action is pretty amazing. Again, they used this on mice, and they found that it increased the levels of in the blood in mice, and also scavenged the free radicals out of the body and promoted the reduction of acute inflammation. Okay? All right. It's getting warm in this room under all these lights, and I'm starting to lose my energy level. So here we go. Strengthens the heart. Ginger oil has been a powerful, powerful reducer of cholesterol levels and blood clotting challenges that you find in that area. So when you stop and look at this, it also, because it helps with strengthening that and reducing those cholesterol levels, it helps with blood vessels that may become blocked, leading to a heart attack or stroke. So here's one, you know, you can add your ginger with your black pepper to help with both those areas. Kind of amazing. Decreases the risk of cardiovascular disease and diabetes. Okay? Improves liver function. A study published in the Journal of Agriculture and Food Chemistry measured the effectiveness in treating alcohol fatty livers. So now we're dealing with a fatty. Now, guys, you can get a fatty liver not just from drinking alcohol. You eat incorrectly, your body's going to store that fat somewhere, and usually you'll find someone that is carbohydrate insensitive or intolerant is going to have a fatty liver. And this found that it really helped support the cleaning of the liver and reducing the chances of cirrhosis and liver cancer. Guys, right there, this is the research, one you want to take a very close look at. Okay? Here's your chart. Look at this here. You can, for nausea, vomiting, flavoring agent, improves liver function, gives you the directions, how much to use, how often a day. Awesome chart. Again, another fun one that you just target the people that might have the challenges, or just educate. Again, these charts are phenomenal, very helpful for you. Okay, lime. Lime in the coconut. I just saw one post on Facebook the other day. It showed a half a coconut with a half a lime inside it, and it said, now what? And so I guess that goes along with the lime in the coconut. Pretty amazing little plant. Comes from the rind. That's where we get the oil. It's pressed. You know, although the precise origins of lime is not really known, but it believed that it was first grown in Indonesia and South Asia, and then transported to the Mediterranean and North Africa around about 1000 BC. You know, it's kind of amazing. But the biggest famous thing about lime is the British sailors. They used it to take care of scurvy. And that's where they got the nickname Limey, because all the limes they had on the ship. Limes are like lemon. They're full of antioxidants, really beneficial in the juice, great for cooking. The zest of the lime as well as the lime juice. You know, P.F. Chang's has a honey walnut, I think it's honey walnut shrimp dish, and they use honey and lime juice. Pretty amazing, good flavoring. But look at some of the health benefits here, guys. It's pretty powerful. So looking at the traditions there, next slide. Reduces nausea, detoxifying, reduces body weight, inflammation, and food additive. Drilling in. All right, reducing the body weight, and groups treated with lime oil displayed a reduction of body weight and food consumption in mice. Pretty impressive. So here's something that you want to be using. Great, just put a drop in your water. It tastes good. And great to help reduce your desire for food and to help reduce the body weight, so it helps to burn that out. Okay? Our next item. Next slide. Okay, food additive. Okay. Look at this. I put a couple recipes down for you. A key lime cupcake. So here's your ingredients. You got 5 drops of lime oil, 1 box of your yellow cake mix, kind of cheating here, but you can do it naturally if you want, and a zest of 1 lime. And so you got your lime oil and your zest of 1 lime, and then for your frosting you got 3 drops of lime oil, 3 ounces of cream cheese, 1/4 cup of soft butter, 6 cups of powdered sugar, and 3 tablespoons of milk. And there's your cupcakes. Guys, absolutely amazing. Don't forget, you know, your loyal line, it is a food additive, and so you can do a lot of cooking there, okay? So let's look at your card. Again, you have your primary uses: food additive, detoxing, so reduce nausea, 1 drop by mouth daily. As needed. Detox, apply 1 to 3 drops, 8 ounces of water, and a food additive. You got a recipe for cupcakes now. Okay, our next oil, nutmeg. Now guys, this one here is a fun one. Isn't that a beautiful picture? I love nutmeg. We've used nutmeg for a long time in several of our blends. It's in the Spice of Life blend, it's in the Physical Touch blend, it's in the Digest blend. Amazing oil. And so, but there's some controversy behind nutmeg oil that we need to talk about. Looking at the history behind it, this spice, this nutmeg, this created mayhem. It really did. It initially was made into little sachets by the Romans as incense around 16 AD, and the Western world, they got more involved. The Dutch plotted to keep it, and the French and the English all got together and they fought. I mean, people were literally murdered over this spice, trying to control the trade of it. It's absolutely horror stories when you go into the history and read about how literally hundreds of people were literally murdered to keep this oil to one country. And the thing that's amazing about it is the nut is pressed. That's where we get the fixed oil, and it's 24 to 30% fixed oil, and you get either nutmeg butter or mace oil, or you distill that and you wind up with nutmeg oil. So that's where that's where it makes the distinction. Okay? So mace is the fixed oil, or nutmeg butter is fixed oil, and essential oil is distilling of that fixed oil. So pain relief and relaxation are the 2 big researches we have here, but stress, food additive, air freshener, air purifier, and calming, all part of what the action of this oil can be. All right, so pain relief, looking at pain relief, that's why it's in the physical touch blend. Very useful for muscular pain and joint pain. It's an excellent sedative. High anti-inflammatory action. It's great for arthritis, rheumatism, and lumbago. It's also been used in Chinese medicine to treat abdominal pain and inflammation. Reduces swelling in the joints. You can see why it's in part of the physical touch blend. Very, very powerful for the removing of pain. Just really powerful. Next slide. Look at the research here, guys. It demonstrates the potential to alleviate CFA injection induced pain swelling. Pretty powerful here. Now, the way it does this, according to the research, look at this, is that it's through inhibiting the COX-2 expression in the blood. It's amazing. Chronic pain relief. The research is solid here, guys. Very solid. So great for rheumatism. And like clove oil, can be applied in an emergency treatment for toothache. So you got your clove and your nutmeg, Q-tip, toothache, get you through the night till you see the dentist. Okay? So really important. Reduces stress. Anxiety and fatigue, stimulates the function of the sensory nerves. Very sedative and calming. Quiet sleeps, makes dreams more intense and colorful. Now guys, here's the caution you want to have here with nutmeg. Nutmeg in large doses, if you put a lot on, I mean you're going to have to put a lot on, can cause a euphoric action. That's why they were trying to control, and people were murdered on nutmeg, to control it, because the English would take it orally, large amounts, and it's like taking opium or marijuana. They get a high. Okay? So be careful with that. The other thing is, it actually has a prostaglandin action. And so if you are pregnant and you use a lot of it topically, you can go into labor. If you're 40 weeks and you're not going to labor, yeah, then put it on and it'll help because of the prostaglandin action of nutmeg. Next slide. Apply 1 or 2 drops undiluted of this on the spine, neck, and back to help with the stress relaxing. Just, good for athlete's foot also, guys. Next slide. Food additive. This is really great for baking goods, sauces, ice cream, custards, certain coffee drinks, including cappuccino, using the nutmeg and cinnamon. Now, here's what's fun, guys. You want to have a beautiful nutmeg drink, but you don't want the raw eggs. Go ahead and do your U program, and it's so awesome. You guys will love this. So you mix your U, 2 scoops, your coconut almond milk, 1 scoop of your vanilla flavoring, and then add a drop of cinnamon bark and a drop of nutmeg. Oh man, you've got your eggnog drink right now. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Room refreshener. So your room refreshener, guys. This here is great because of its woody, kind of pleasant aroma. So man, pop that in a diffuser. Great to knock down bacteria. Help with getting the ions correct in your room. Beautiful, beautiful oil for that. So take a look here at your chart of your little card. Pain relief gives you a recipe. Reduction of stress gives you a recipe. Negative ions in your room gives you a great recipe for your diffuser. And calming and relaxing, you've got that recipe. Absolutely phenomenal, easy to do. This would be a good one too for a party because you can bring them in, put it in the diffuser, have it going, and no one's going to leave. They'll stay there and you just go ahead and collect all their cards, swipe them a couple times, you'll be good to go. Alrighty, our next oil, vanilla. Whew. Vanilla, powerful, powerful oil. Interesting here, I said to Ori today, I says, what if I finish up early today? And he says, I'm not worried about that. Well, it looks like we're going to finish early today because we have vanilla, yuzu, and 3 more oils, and we've gone through all of the oils. So we're coming right along. So if you have questions, guys, make sure you get those questions out here. Vanilla is a tough one, guys. Something that's been really hard to work with because of its action. And so let's kind of get into its history here and help you understand it. Vanilla is another one where a lot of people lost their life with. Basically, this comes from the island of Reunion, is where it started. It's a member of the orchid family. Large family of flowering plants, tropical. There's just a narrow band, about a 20-degree band on either side of the equator where this here grows. It's first left Mexico in early 1500s on ships bound for Spain. It was originally believed to be a valuable perfume. And it wasn't until Cortez arrived in 1519 that they discovered that it was also great to be used as a flavoring. The great chief of the Mayans, Montezuma, he used this with Theobroma cacao, or chocolate. So he had his chocolate and his vanilla, and it was a very prized possession. Very, very prized possession. But let's take a real serious look at this. Not until the 19th century, Mexico had monopoly on growing the vanilla. Now Madagascar grows mainly all of it. That's where we get our vanilla, is out of Madagascar. A little bit in Guatemala and Uganda, Kenya, China, India, Indonesia. It's kind of moved out a little bit. Hawaii's got a little bit going on now, and some of the Pacific Islands. But we get our oil from Madagascar. The vanilla is the world's most labor-intensive agriculture crop. And guys, this is why the price is kind of expensive. And when you take a look at it, it takes 3 years after the vines are planted before the first flower appears. 3 years. This is like lavender. When you take lavender, 4 years from the time you plant the seed till you actually get your first harvest. So this is a very labor-intense problem because it's a long time, and so you have a little bit of reserves to get into this, to get it going. It remains on the vine, so it looks like a bean, and it remains on the vine, green, for 9 months. Now, to be order to be completely developed, to get that aroma, because when it's in the green stage in a bean, it does not have a vanilla aroma. The bean has to be picked, and then it has to be dried. When that happens, the vanilla action in the chemical compound now starts to come out and be demonstrated. But until it's dried, there is absolutely no aroma of vanilla to this at all. And so that's something that you got to take into consideration. That's why it's so labor intense, that it needs to have that action. So once it's dried, now the aroma starts to come out, the fragrance develops a distinct through the curing and drying process. The United States is the world's largest consumer of vanilla, and then France. Between 14 to 2,300 tons of dried vanilla is produced worldwide each year. This is significantly less than chocolate or coffee, which is in the millions of containers of coffee and chocolate. Because vanilla is so much in demand, because that's why it's so expensive, so a lot of synthetic varieties have come out. In fact, 98% of vanilla used as a flavoring or fragrance is synthetic. And that carries some pretty rough side effects. So you really need to take a look at that. So here's the why. Aphrodisiac, fighting infections, can reduce fevers, antidepressant, relaxation, boosts libido, and lowers blood pressure. As an aphrodisiac, this is something that I was able to find in many different places online, and you can look this up also. It's been used on patients suffering from impotence, erectile dysfunction, frigidity, loss of libido, It stimulates the secretion of certain hormones like testosterone and estrogen that helps the amount to do normal sexual behavior and promote sexual arousal. And that was the research behind the aphrodisiac. It's not going to turn you into this crazy maniac, but it just helps to increase the normal function of the body. Fights infection. I thought this was quite interesting on the research, as its antioxidant properties of vanilla oil. It neutralizes free radicals and protects the body from the wear and tear of what you'll find with free radicals. The study found that the vanilla strongly inhibits both the initial adherence of the Staphylococcus aureus cell and the development of the mature biofilm after 48 hours. So this is a great one, guys, that you also want to add to your toothbrush, because you'll get a lot of formations of biofilms after brushing, and this inhibits that formation 48 hours after use. So good one to add to your toothbrush. It'll be part of our new Kiss toothpaste as we reintroduce that. All right, can reduce a fever. It's effective in reducing a fever. I found that it's very powerful, guys, if you add this to your Starflake bath salt. Pretty amazing. The relaxation that you have, the reduction of a fever. So if you take your peppermint and your vanilla, add to your Starflake bath salt, scoop, stir it up in the bathtub, hop in the bathtub. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. As an antidepressant, of course, you would think this because it has a mood-enhancing action. And this is published in the Indian Journal of Pharmacology. And they found that the compound vanillin demonstrated antidepressant activities comparative to fluorescein. Now, what is fluorescein? Fluorescein is lorazepam. And if any of you have watched the ER shows, every time someone comes in that's agitated, they will prescribe for them lorazepam every single time. Even they had a turtle come in that bit a guy on the neck and wouldn't let go. They gave the turtle fluorescein, which is lorazepam. I think it was 5 milligrams. Boom! Turtle let go of the guy's neck. It was absolutely amazing. So vanillin has antidepressing activities in mice compared to fluorescein, lorazepam. Pretty impressive, guys, and there's the research on that. Next slide. Boost libido. Of course, another oil that we've talked about, the erectile dysfunction. The main reason here, again, the testosterone and estrogen actions. Okay. Lowers blood pressure because of its ability to relax the body. You can lower blood pressure. Some of you probably have seen the different watches you can wear, the Fitbit, and Gremlin has one out there too. But anyway, they have relaxation monitors on the watches. You can push the button, it'll tell you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This causes your blood pressure to drop. Well, vanilla does the same thing because it creates that kind of action in the body. It will lower your blood pressure levels because it causes such a calming reaction to the body. Kind of cool. Boy, I can tell I did that one late last night. Looks like I keep going. Looks bad breath. There we go. All right, reduce the fever of bad breath. We did miss that one. Boy, I really got those slides mixed up. It was late last night. All right, guys, here we go. So bad breath. This, like I said, put this on your toothbrush because remember we talked about the biofilms? Absolutely amazing because the biofilms is a bacteria that will grow, and if you see those under a slide, they literally create a long chain and they just proliferate and that's what creates a lot of the bad breath. So put it on your toothbrush, really good to go. That's why you noticed going back here, doggone, I should have pointed that out. This was the only one in on all of our slides that had an aroma and a loyal. In fact, Ori, let's go back to the slide, the very first slide of vanilla. I wanted to point that out. Keep going back. I apologize. I should have picked up on that. Should be right there. Okay, there you are, guys. See? Instead of having a picture here, we have both the aroma and the loyal. Exact same oil, different label, different bottle, but exact same oil. So this one here gives you a really good demonstration. So that's why I was saying put it on your toothbrush. It's the loyal side. Aroma side, bath, relaxation, topical. All right, let's go to the next oil, which will be Yuzu. Oh, questions, all right.
Do you have any type of valid research or anything that can talk about the benefits of vanilla for prostate cancer?
Valid research for prostate cancer. The only thing I found, and I was reading it last night, and that would be under number 1 up there, antioxidant. It talked about, because it's a high antioxidant, that it would help in cancer formation. I'm trying to remember the exact word that it said in the research. But it was breast, prostate, and colon. Those 3 were listed in the research. But it was only because of its high antioxidant ability. Other than that, that's all I could find.
Question. Is fluoxetine the same as Prozac?
No. Oh, hold on. Fluoxetine. I might have misquoted that. Fluoxetine is Prozac, not lorazepam. Sorry. Good correction there. These scientific names on these different drugs I don't keep up on too much, but when you mentioned that, it rang the bell.
And one other question. Sorry. Last question is, a while back you had a handout on meridian points. They're wondering if you still have that somewhere in your arsenal.
I do. I do have that. I bet you would like it. I'm not looking at Ori. We'll take that in consideration, and it might be time for us to do another training in a month or so on the different points to put the oils on your hands and ears and other parts of your body. Could be fun. If there's enough interest, email in or make a support ticket and we'll take a look at that, okay? Yuzu! Oh my word, guys. Awesome, awesome plant. Here's what's interesting about Yuzu. Yuzu is kind of, when you look at the history behind Yuzu, it's kind of like bergamot. Bergamot is a combination, hybrid of 2 different citruses. And we have the same thing here with Yuzu. We have the orange and the pomelo come together, and we have Yuzu. So it's kind of a cool plant. And it has a quite interesting history. It goes back about 1,200 years, and its origins are from China. And it was brought to Japan by the way of Korea, through the Korean peninsula. And it's been in Japan for a long time too, about 710 years from what they can figure. And they used it in hot baths and in the medical practice, which was really kind of cool. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the hot baths, because here again, Yuzu is a citrus and can have some phototoxicity. And so you want to be a little careful there as far as putting it on topically and then going out in the sun, because you can have some challenges that way. But they used it in the hot baths at the base of Mount Fuji, and they would actually add this to the bath, and of course that would cause the volatile oil to escape into the air from the hot bath, and so it fragranced the entire bath, as well as gave them the healing properties within the bath itself. So let's look at the action here. Traditionally, enhances the mood, relaxation, calming, air refreshing, skin health, and antimicrobial. So let's go in and drill into the mood enhancing here. In one study, it shows that 10 to 30 minutes inhalation, so put in your diffuser for 10 to 30 minutes, can seriously reduce emotional activity and can also reduce the stress and mood swing. Found effective against tension, anxiety, depression, anger. So if someone's angry, put the diffuser on, wait 10 minutes, and they'll calm down a little more, okay? So it increases the mood in just 10 minutes. So this is something, guys, that when you're having your parties, this is the oil I'd diffuse. It has such a clean, when I stop and think about it, it has such a clean citrus aromatic aroma that it's a sweet, clean citrus. This is the one to diffuse at a party. All right, calming. Okay, now the GABA-terpenes, this is the compound in there. The GABA-terpenes can stimulate the release of dopamine. This is what science is showing GABA-terpenes will do. And this is a neurotransmitter that promotes stress release. And that's kind of cool. So when you think about it, you know, you got your GABA, neuronorepinephrine, and serotonin, and dopamine. These are all neurotransmitters. This in here, this oil in a diffused state reacts to the GABA-terpene. The GABA-terpene stimulates the dopamine release of the neurotransmitter for that reduction. Emotional stress accumulates throughout the day. Man, this is the one you come home to, boom, diffuse, pow. Takes care of angry husband syndrome. Relaxation, here again, I'm not responsible if you are in the bathtub and fall asleep and drowned. This is really great at the end of the day. Everything happens to just speed up and demanding of everyone's life. This is the one that just helps take care of exhaustion, burnout. Again, diffusing is, you know, just absolutely amazing here. Put on the bottom of your feet, put in your bathtub. Phew, absolutely amazing. Put in your hand and cup it and breathe. Mood enhancing. It looks like I did that again too. Oh, there's something different here, that's why. Here's a study on the malic acid that's contained as for muscle recovery and helps to promote digestion and collagen. That's more, I believe, from the fruit itself. Okay? Yeah, that's from the fruit itself. All right, next one. Antimicrobial. So here's what's cool about this. You know citrus oils are full of limonene. And this has a very high concentration. It's up in that upwards of 70–80% limonene. And it's really powerful anti-inflammatory, antimicrobial. Yuzu oil fights strongly against flu, cold, and other illnesses related to bacterial infections. So again, this is a great oil for cold and flu season. Put in the diffuser, let it rip, boost the mood up, takes care of the microbes in the air. It's really powerful. Really good. Skin health. Now, again, going back to these baths that they did. They would literally cut the whole fruit and steam it in the hot baths. Well, see, the whole fruit's in there. You got the rind, where the essential oil is contained, in the hot water. The oil would come out into the water. And that's where they found that it was really revitalizing and really helped to kill skin-borne bacteria by doing it that way. Pretty powerful. Pretty amazing. Skin health.
For fat burning, do you take it in capsule? I think this is an aroma only.
This is an aroma only.
So for fat burning,
for fat burning, you'd want to put it on location and stay out of the sun, or you'll have burnt buns. Okay? All right, next slide. Here we go, guys. Look at what we've got here. Enhances blood, mood, relaxation, calming, air freshening. This is such a good air freshener. Man, I used to diffuse orange all the time, and since I've started diffusing this, I just love it to pieces. So you got your recipes there on your card, and it's phenomenal. So let's move to our next blend. This is a fun one, guys. You're going to love these. Okay, relax. Now, this is a fun one, guys, as we put it together for you to help you really see the power behind what we wanted. We wanted 3 good, solid diffusing oils that would have a purpose. Now, we can bring out any old oil to diffuse, but we wanted it to have an actual targeted purpose. And so as we said in the war room planning the launch of these oils this year, we came up with 3: relax, protection, and focus. And we wanted something to be very, very powerful in that action. And so I went back to the room and started putting it together. And guys, I tell you what, look at the oils in this blend: spruce, lavender, rosewood, lime, geranium, marjoram, ylang-ylang. Powerful, powerful combination. Now, one of the things we find when we look at the action of spruce, spruce being from the Rocky Mountains in Canada, powerful, powerful respiratory, anti-inflammatory, mood enhancing, relaxing. When I say mood enhancing, as far as distressing. You think about it, if you get in your car, and you leave the hot valley of Arizona or California or Michigan or wherever, and you drive up from the sea level from Hawaii up into the mountains, and you get up into the pines. Well, how do you feel? You take off your shoes and socks and you lay your blanket down underneath the pine tree, the wind blowing through the pine tree, the smell of the pine as the oil is slowly releasing from the needles. You just feel like you could spend the rest of your days laying there, listening to the birds, watching the puffy clouds. Absolutely distressing. Spruce has an aroma that is incredible for doing that. Lavender, you guys know the power of lavender. I mean, there is research out of Washington State showing that lavender literally helps to take care of alpha and beta brainwaves. Will put you into that relaxed state. Rosewood, again, tons of research on rosewood showing its ability to relax. That's why it's in the ChiroTouch blend, rosewood, because it helps relax the myofascia in the body. Powerful. Lime oil, we saw the relaxation earlier as we talked about lime, what it'll do there. Geranium helps to relax the emotion. Absolutely powerful. You know, we use geranium on the sternum all the time to help people that are really having those real hard feelings. That just calms the entire emotional aspect. Marjoram, you know, is in the PAT pack for what? Muscle. And so it helps to soothe and calm muscle aggregation and tightness. Ylang-ylang, the aphrodisiac action, the calming action of ylang-ylang. So you take these oils and you put them together synergistically in a specific order to give you an action that is absolutely powerful. That's absolutely amazing. I tell you what, unbelievable when you put this one in the diffuser and let it go. It creates such a calmness, such a strong connection to nature. It also gives you that feeling of grounding. If you feel frazzled, it's just absolutely a powerful one. This is a great one, guys, that you could also use at your party. You know, not towards the end, but just let them pass around and smell it. Because you get them so relaxed, they're not going to want to go home. They want to stay there all day long. But this is one people will gravitate to. You'll find that they will be reaching for this one quite often because we are living in a society of fast-paced stress. It's amazing when we stop and think about it. If you look at the early ancestors that settled this country, you know, when they were faced with stress and went into the fight or flight challenge, they had to literally fight or flight to get away from that grizzly bear or the Indians from killing them. So they had all this physical activity. Today, we still have that high of stress level that puts us into fight or flight, but it's not a physical danger, it's an emotional danger. The stress of work, the stress of boss, the stress of bills, the stress of taxes, the stress of health, all these things put us in that fight or flight constantly. But we're not running away from the bear, we're not running away from the Indian or fighting the Indian. We are in a sedimentary society sitting on the couch with a remote. And so that hormone is going crazy in the body, and we see a rash of people that are going through anxiety and depression, you name it, because when you are in an adrenaline fight or flight, every sense is completely on fire. And then when that comes off, then we drop clear down. Body's completely wore out. Complete exhaustion, burnout, depression. And so we're swinging just like this, up and down in our society as we sit on the couch. This will help those that need it. It's a lifesaver, guys. Absolutely a lifesaver. Next slide. All right, focus. Now this blend here carries a it carries a caution. When we released this in February in Salt Lake to a select group of people that came in for the launch of these oils, we had one of our gals there that grabbed it, and I thought she was going to OD. She took the lid off and she started breathing it. Oh, this was what she was doing. Oh, and I kept looking at her going, holy cow, she is just absolutely having a complete experience with this oil. We tried to take it away from her and we about lost our arm. Sandy was totally committed that this was the oil for her regardless. And to take it out of her hand, it would mean to pry it out of her cold, dead fingers, because she was not going to relinquish it back. It was quite an experience. So this one carries a caution. It can be addictive. It is so amazing. Look at the oils here, guys, and we'll understand why. Lemon, orange, grapefruit, tangerine, bergamot, spearmint, lemongrass, rosemary, neroli, and vanilla. So you have a grouping of citrus oils that is so amazing. All of these oils, lemon for left brain, orange for right brain, grapefruit balances both brains. You support that and enhance that with tangerine and bergamot and lemongrass. Holy cow, your brain is absolutely hardwired to just absolutely be laser focused and to concentrate. Unbelievable. Spearmint and rosemary, of course we know the research on rosemary for memory, putting rosemary right here, you guys have heard that a million times. Absolutely amazing. Neroli is going to give you that blossom smell, and of course the vanilla absolutely to help with the body and bring the blend together. Very, very, very powerful. Again, put it in the diffuser, put it on topically on the forehead, behind the ears, earlobes, corner of the nostril, pulse points. We have people wearing this as a cologne or a perfume, and people are gravitating to them. This would be a fabulous oil to diffuse at your party. Man, people will want to take this home. But guys, think about this. The high level of citrus in a diffuser, antibacterial, antimicrobial, clean your room, clean your house, bam. People are going to go crazy over this. New people that have never smelled anything like this. It'll have a flair to them. They will be like Sandy in the corner with the bottle. Oh, woo! It's going to be a fun thing. And as you pass around and get each person's reaction, it would be a great party opener. Focus. Caution. Next oil. Alrighty, guys. Protection. Now this is another oil, guys, that we have to spend a little bit of time with. Let's go ahead and move on to the support slide here. Now guys, I want you to take a look at this and see if you recognize the grouping of oils that are in here. We have cinnamon bark, we have orange, mandarin orange, lemon, lime, black cumin, thyme, oregano, eucalyptus. Does that ring a bell? This here is Spice of Life in the aroma line, except one addition. To soften it, well, two additions, excuse me. To soften it, we had to do a little bit of changing. If you take Spice of Life and put it in the diffuser and diffuse it, it irritates your eyes because of the cinnamon bark. So what I did is I brought cinnamon bark down in this blend and brought cinnamon leaf up. So we can still have the same antimicrobial action, but it won't irritate the eyes. And then I added a little vanilla to it just to soften it just a little bit more and give it that more of a smooth aroma and not that harsh edge of the spice of life. So basically what you have here, and this is the only oil where we don't set the oil in the filler and spice of life goes this way and protection goes that way. This is a different oil because of the changing of the cinnamon barks and leaf and the vanilla addition. So this is the only oil in the two lines that are different. They're not the same, they're a little different, but they have the same action. I hope that makes sense. So again, protection is the aroma for diffusing. It is your spice of life answer for diffusion. Spice of life is not protection because it has cinnamon bark and no cinnamon leaf and no vanilla. So hope you make that distinction. This is a great one to diffuse, because especially guys when kids are starting school. They go to school, they pick up hitchhikers and bring them back, they get sick, your whole family gets sick, and here goes the cycle. And every time a new thing happens at school until the kid's immune system builds, you just cycle through it. We watched this when our kids were being raised. We didn't have the problem because we were using oils on a very regular basis, and so our kids wouldn't get sick. But the neighbors' kids, they'd be out all the time. I remember one time, finally the mother to one of our neighbors' kids, she says, "Your kids are never sick." My kids, she had a large family. I think they had 7 or 8 kids. Wanted to get it, and someone was home all the time. And so Tana said, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, just do essential oils." And it was kind of interesting. She elected not to because it was weird and funky. But Ori never got sick. Kamisha never got sick. In fact, we'd have to call in and do sick days because they wouldn't get sick. They didn't get time off like all the other kids. So we'd say they were just sick of school, so they could stay home. But protection is the great one to diffuse. You have company coming, get the protection going. They will love the aroma, protects your family, protects them. It's a great, great oil. Can be used topically also. Absolutely amazing as a massage, bottom of the feet, in the bath. If you did Spice of Life in the bath, you will jump out of the water pretty quick because it's hot. It'll jump you right out of there. But this is a great one too. I've had a lot of people use Spice of Life for open wound. I don't recommend it, but I've had people do that because of the clove bud in there helps stop the pain and helps the coagulation and stops the bleeding. You can do that with this because the cinnamon bark is down instead of up. So man, absolutely amazing. Neil Harris used this for an open wound on his forehead, fell down and busted his head open. That's all I had with him. Put it on, stopped the pain, stopped the bleeding, hiked down the mountains. Pretty amazing. So this is a great one to have, a great, great oil. This is our Spice of Life answer again to aromatic use. Okay, any questions on those oils? All right. Okay, we have 2 more additions we're going to tease you with. They are not available now, but they will be available soon for your enjoyment. So next slide. No, okay, next slide. Here's the teaser, avocado oil. Some of you have heard a little bit about avocado oil, but let's kind of go through this. The word avocado is believed to be derived from, and I'll let you guys pronounce that, which means testicle, which I thought was kind of interesting because for years I've been teaching that this is for the uterus because from blossom to harvest, 40 weeks, and it believes to represent the womb with the embryo inside because it's the exact same shape of the womb. It's also the exact same shape of the testicle. So it's also been listed as an aphrodisiac. So let's look at some of the research here, guys. It's been cultivated for 5,000 years in Mesoamerica. I should say the history. It literally came to Florida in 1833. And it didn't become a commercial crop until the 20th century. Now it's fairly popular in California and Florida and Hawaii. From what I understand, some of the most awesome avocado oil and fruit is in Hawaii, but because of some kind of a monopoly that Haas, I think that's Hass, Haas Avocado Company has, they won't allow avocado from Hawaii to be imported into mainland America. It's kind of sad. But it is really a very popular fruit and oil. Now, here's what's cool. It's previously ranked number 5 of the healthiest foods. That is a really high ranking. So that is pretty impressive when you look at it's ranked 5th in the highest, most healthiest foods out there. Okay? So now looking at the oil, look at the research here, guys. Lowers blood pressure, improves arthritic symptoms, benefits for psoriasis and other skin problems, improves heart health and lowers cholesterol, boosts nutrient absorption. Guys, that was awesome. So let's just drill in a little bit here. That's right. We're going to tease you. So we're not drilling in. So the next oil is cameline. Cameline is, it's kind of cool. You can see the seed. It comes from the seed. This has also been referred to as false flax. So let's look at the little history behind this one here. It is extracted from the seed. It is pressed. That's where we get the fixed oil. It's native to North Europe and Central Asia. Cameline is grown and consumed in Europe since 1940. When higher yield crops became more available, then it was kind of moved into Canada and the United States. Right now it's being used in Canada at a large scale to feed fish because of its protein profile and its amino acid profile. You're going to see some cool stuff here in just a little bit about it. Okay, it's cameline is false flax. It is a hardy oilseed plant rich in omega-3 fatty acid protein and antioxidant. So pretty amazing. It is a super nutritious plant. It is used as a vegetable oil for human consumption and is an ingredient in supplements and also in, as I said, the fish industry. Okay, so cameline for the skin, cameline for the hair, omega-3, heart health. Look, four huge researches on heart health. This is one that also helps with gout. In one of those researches I was reading, gout, arthritis, brain and eyes and nerves. I think there's one more slide here or two. Yeah, this last slide here. Look at this, guys. Omega-3, 6, and 9. Look at the amount of omega-3. 35% to omega-6 at 17. Now we're starting to get a more balanced omega-3, 6, and 9 profile. In our American diet, because everyone's gone over to canola oil or corn oil or vegetable oil, where your omega-6 is like 60% and your omega-3 is like 10%. So you're completely out of balance. Today our society is like a 50-to-1 ratio omega-6 to 3 when it should be a 25% ratio omega-3 to 6. And so we're totally imbalanced. That's why we see cancer going rampant. A lot of people are using olive oil, and olive oil is like 33, 33, 33. It is super balanced, saturated oil. It's just basically thirds, omega-3, 6, and 9. And so it's a good oil, but here you have one that is super high in the omega-3. Bam! Good oil to have. So these are some that will be coming soon to your shopping cart. So guys, those are the oils that we released in March, except for the last two. I hope you enjoyed the information about these. We do have a code. Have you released the code?
Sure. Let's talk about I-Toby. You can mention.
Okay. All right. So we're going to be releasing code oil. Put that code out there for you for 15% off. This is your time to get stocked up. If you haven't got these oils and didn't know what to do with them, now's the time to do that with that sale discount. So let's talk a little bit about a few things for you guys. It's kind of fun. And I'll have Ori kind of interject here every now and then as we go through this to just make sure that we get everything to you that you need. Here a few, well, it's been about a year now, I guess. I got this question from one of our distributors that said, Dana, have you ever heard of I-Toby? And nope, I haven't. And I said, well, I-Toby is being pushed quite a bit out here in our area. I said, well, I'll look into it. So I looked into it and kind of find out the company is just right up north here in Orem. And so I started reading some of the blogs that was out there about the I-Toby and how it was working. Basically what it is a bioimpedance machine. You put it in your hand and it sends frequencies of your product in the body. Your body responds, it reads that, calibrates it, gives you a result of what product your body could possibly use to help balance and help the body to perform better. And so it's nothing new, nothing I haven't seen before. It's kind of like the compass and a million other little guys out there like the little Fitbit watch is through bioimpedance. So it's pretty standard technology. And so I started looking into it and read some of the blogs, and some of the things I read I wasn't too favorable. And so I actually just went up and sat down with the company. Started asking them questions and finding out more about that. And I wound up getting a machine from them. And so it's just a little teeny machine. You want to maybe grab it and show it? Just a little teeny block that you put in your hand. And I started playing with it. And I started seeing some things happening that I really enjoyed. And one of the things I enjoyed that was very consistent in its scanning. I could scan, turn around, and rescan, and I'd have the results would be very similar. Well, over the year of developing and working with them, we started just kind of getting it out to a couple of our people, letting them try it, and getting some actual practical use of it, so we could really kind of see what it was about, how it worked, how people received it. And what was nice is it works so simple because you got this little hand scanner and your iPhone or your Android. And so here's your little hand scanner, kind of small, and as you see it has two little probes right here. As long as those little probes are touching your skin somewhere, you know, that's all you have to do. That's why you can use it on an animal. You can put it on this belly of a dog where there's the hair, or part the hair and put it in there. Flank of a horse, goat, cow, you can put that right on and you can scan. As long as those two little probes right there touch, you really have something powerful. And so that, with your smartphone, Android or iPhone, you just hand this to the person, put their information in and click scan. In 30 seconds they have a scan, you hit share, send it to their text, send it to their email, done. And what we've found is this has been so cool and so accurate that it actually, people, when they get a scan, will buy the oils they suggest. And what's nice is you can select either 3 products to scan with, 7 products to scan with, or 10 products, or all the products. And so that's really kind of a cool little device, great thing for your parties. Oh, guys, everyone that comes to your parties will want a scan. And that's what's neat. Now this device, if you were to pick up some devices similar to this, can run up to $600. There's a promotion on right now. If you're already a distributor, $10 for this device. Your subscription's $39.95 a month to have the database. If someone is signing up brand new for the very first time, there's an option in the sign-up packages where they can get this for free, and their subscription is $29.95 a month. So they get $10 off on that if they're brand new signing up. So it's great at your parties because if they're a party and they want to sign up, boom, they can get this and they can go do their family wherever they go. I mean, literally, wherever you can connect your smartphone, you can scan someone. That's the power of it. So I think Ori's got a video loaded up here. We'll go ahead and play that so you can kind of see a little bit more about the I-Toby.
And 4 have frequencies in. During an I-Toby session, the tracker sends electrical frequencies to your body. The products you're being scanned for have frequencies in them. The tracker measures your body's responses to those frequencies. This process is called bioimpedance. Bioimpedance is used in many things, from fitness trackers to medical devices, and is widely researched and proven. I-Toby runs the data collected from your responses through a variety of complex equations and algorithms. When your scan is complete, I-Toby provides you with a simple, personalized nutrition report, which consists of an I-Toby score and suggested products to begin taking or keep taking. The products suggested are prioritized according to your responses or reactions to those frequencies. Also, diet, stress levels, and sleep are some of the things that can influence your I-Toby score. Anyone can use this technology, including those with pacemakers, women who are pregnant, children, and babies.
Okay, that gives you a good background. Sai did a great job with that little video there. There's an older one. Now here's what's kind of cool, guys. You're going to love this. We were in the war room here, oh, gee, it must have been 6 months, maybe. Yeah, about 6 months ago. It was a while ago. We're in the war room and we're kind of, again, trying to refine our message and refine it to a way that make it simple for you to be able to share. Because one of the challenges you have when it comes to sharing essential oils is there's this real steep learning curve. I mean, you come in, essential oil, okay, cool, wow, that's awesome. Well, how do I use them? Well, let's see, you can put it here, you can, and the learning curve is so steep that a lot of people just go, bah! And every time they want to use an oil, they have to call us or call you, or they just sit on the shelf and say, I really don't know how to use it. So we had this conversation because essential oils are such a steep learning curve. We need to do something to bring that learning curve down. We need to make it simple so you could share, you could stay compliant, and people wouldn't go, oh my word, there's no way that I can promote or sell essential oils because I need a doctorate degree to figure this out. And so that's why we wanted to bring it down to a simple level. So we wanted to kind of look at how things stack together. And so as we were doing that, we started realizing and we started presenting to you the three core message of Be Young. There are 3 reasons why your body would break down and go into some kind of disease or challenge. And that would be from environmental toxins, nutrition, and environmental toxins, nutrition, and it just escaped me. Physical, emotional, environmental toxins. There we go. Yeah. So those are the 3 reasons that either a physical problem going on that would be nutritional or something like that, or environmental or emotional. And so we had our design team put together this for us, and we went up and visited I-Toby here a month or so ago because they wanted to release a beta system that now they've released fully. And they wanted to make sure that they're staying compliant because within this bioimpedance, there's a lot of companies jumping in there and getting in trouble because it's becoming more of a medical device, becoming more of a diagnostic device. And so they wanted to really stay compliant. And they noticed that a lot of the companies that were using their machinery or their little device, they found that they were basically listing their products in similar categories, that there was either environmental, physical, or emotional. So they actually built their entire database now with the beta and that they've released that will scan your body for environmental problem, physical problem, or emotional problem. And so here we had already moved our whole company over to that thing, and we have the icons for it, so it plugs in. So when you get the scan, it actually matches up almost identical to what we have been teaching for the past while. And so it's almost like they made I-Toby just for Be Young. Of course they didn't, they made it and other companies are involved, but it seems that way. And so it's really powerful. So when you get a scan, it lists the products that will help you emotionally, and it lists the products that could possibly help you physically, and it lists the possible products that can help you environmentally. And so it's really easy, it's really simple to use, it's very powerful. So again, this is something that you should do at every party. Carry it in your pocket, carry it in your purse. You're going out to eat. We have people scanning waiters. It's really good. Okay, well, the next thing we'd like to talk about real quick, guys, is we have an event coming up in September. September is we're kind of excited about this. And you know what's kind of fun is, and I think I'll have Ori kind of jump in here and kind of plug this with me, because this has been a coordinated effort to put it together, and Ori's been working with our design team, think tank. But we're going to have a training in September, which is going to be a health training, and it's got some real unique twists to it that I think you'll find really kind of cool. The meeting is going to be talking about meeting the real you. And what does that mean? You know, chances are, no matter if you are a health guru, exercise guru, couch potato guru, or whatever, the chances are you probably have not met the real you yet. And there's something that you could be better at, something you could do more with, something that you want to improve. Whether that's dropping 10, 15 pounds, or whether that's improving your immune system, whether that's making your skin feel better, whether that's getting rid of the swelling around your ankles, whether that's helping your mind think more clearly, you probably have not discovered the real you yet. And so we have put together this Meet the Real You with a town hall meeting, that expo kind of experience with breakout meetings, absolutely phenomenal. And we have an incredible lineup of present people. Dr. Whiting will be there, Ori's there, I'll be there. We're going to have Josh Bowman there, Tracy, possibly. Is Tracy coming? Have we asked him? Possibly. Who is the formulator of our nanotechnology vitamins. In our hometown expo, guys, it's going to be cool because you can come to the Musashi booth, and there you will be able to see the different powders, the different ingredients that go in. And we are literally, we're going to do something. I'm not sure what yet, but if you will try each powder individually, by themselves, without rinsing your mouth out, we'll give you some kind of a gift. We'll figure out what that gift is. Because when you experience what went into creating Musashi Plus, you will be mystified. You will claim that there's no way that this can taste like that after you try what we put together from the raw powders and ingredients. It'll blow you away. The taste is so gross in its individual forms, but when we synergistically put it together, it's unbelievable. So you're going to have some amazing stuff going on there. Of course, there's going to be a PAT, the EAT, LAT, nutritional course, learn how to build your business from the ground floor up, business development. It's going to be, as you can see, what's going to be there is amazing. You need to jump on this and jump on it quick, because guys, there is an opportunity here to get it at a good price. Price is going to escalate as we get closer, of course. It always has to, because we have to finalize our portion of it, and we need to know kind of where we are. So if you get in now and get the package, you're going to get breakfast and a dinner, and breakfast and a lunch, along with the package each day. And so that's going to help out an awful lot along the way. It is very affordable, and we also are looking at giving away some amazing prizes for those that get the most people registered. And so you might want to take a look at that too. Some of these announcements will be made for you. But this is going to be the first time we have done this since 2008. No, sorry, 2010. 12, yeah. 2012. So it's been a while since we've done this. This will be held in Texas, down in the Houston area at a nice resort. So start planning right now to get to it. This is going to be an amazing experience that you will not want to miss. The educational opportunity here is going to be phenomenal. The educational opportunity here is going to be to the degree of any boot camp that we've ever done. And it will be very easy for you to translate that from receiving the knowledge to then sharing that knowledge. So make sure that you look for the flyer, get involved, and that'll be pretty excited to see you there in September. September 26th through the 30th. No, 28th through the 30th. We have to be there 26th to set up. That's where I get mixed up. So 28th through the 30th. So guys, I hope that you've enjoyed our training today. I hope it didn't cost you too much for this training. I hope you enjoyed the information. I encourage you to share this information, get stocked up, get the stuff that you need if you haven't purchased it, because you get the 15% discount for being on this broadcast day. Thank you, and always, God bless you, and we'll see you in the next go-around.